Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. You're not gonna believe this, but that old penny you've got sitting in your coin jar could be worth $3 million. Yes, I'm serious. Today we're talking about the 1952 Abraham Lincoln penny, an unsung hero of the numismatic world that could make you richer than you ever thought possible. So, grab your magnifying glass, and let's dive into this incredible story. You might just have a literal gold mine hiding in your pocket change. Now, before you run off and check every penny in your collection, let's break down exactly why the 1952 Lincoln penny is such a big deal. First off, the S mint mark stands for the San Francisco Mint. That little S is important because not all Lincoln pennies were made there. The 1952 S was part of a smaller mintage, which means fewer of them are out there today. But here's the kicker. It's not just any 1952 penny. This coin, in particular, is rare and can go for an insane amount of money. We're talking around $3 million at auction, folks. $3 million. I know, I can barely wrap my head around it too. You see, over the years, collectors have realized how special these pennies are. They were made with a unique combination of factors, and most of them just didn't survive the test of time. So when one pops up in pristine condition, it becomes a hot ticket item. The market has gone wild for these bad boys, and they're in high demand. Now, let's talk condition. Condition is everything in the world of coin collecting. A 1952 penny in mint state, meaning it looks like it was just made yesterday, can fetch an astronomical price. But even one with a bit of wear and tear could still be worth a pretty penny, pun intended. So, how do you know if you've got one? Well, you want to look for certain features like the sharpness of the details on Lincoln's portrait and the overall luster of the coin. If you've got one that still shines like a brand new penny, you might just have struck gold. Now, let me tell you about a funny story. A few years back, I had a friend who was cleaning out his grandfather's house and found a dusty old penny jar. It was filled with pennies from the 50s, and he was about to toss them. But something made him pause. It was probably because of all the late-night YouTube videos he had watched about coins worth big money, and, I mean, that's the exact reason you're watching this video, right? Anyway, he found a 1952 penny in there and, long story short, ended up selling it for enough to buy a brand new car. Not $3 million, but still, it's a pretty good reminder to always check your change. So, here's the takeaway. Check those pennies, especially the ones with that S mint mark. Who knows, you might just have a 1952 hiding in your collection that could send you straight to the bank. Keep in mind, the condition is key, but if you find one in perfect shape, don't even think about spending it. That little penny could make you a fortune, and hey, if you're like me, you're probably diving into your own coin stash right now. I know I am. But seriously, for more tips on coins that are worth a lot of money, hit that subscribe button and join the Coin Hunter crew. You don't want to miss out on any more secrets to turning your old change into cold, hard cash. Hold on to your hats and glasses because today, we're diving into a penny that could make you a fortune, like life-changing amounts of money. Picture this, a single penny, not from a special vault, but from your pocket, could potentially be worth a whopping $2.8 million. Sounds crazy, right? But this isn't some tall tale or fairy tale coin. It's the 1964 Abraham Lincoln penny. You heard me right, a penny worth more than most people's cars. If you're not looking through your spare change, you might be missing out big time, so, grab your magnifying glass, or just use your phone camera, either works. You might be sitting on a small gold mine. Let's talk about how this little coin is making people rich, and how you can cash in on this nugget of numismatic history. Alright, let's break it down. First, the 1964 penny, sounds pretty ordinary, right? It was minted in huge numbers, so you'd think, why on earth would a 1964 penny be worth millions? Well, here's where the story gets interesting. You see, not all 1964 pennies are created equal. Most of them are just, well, pennies, worth 1 cent, nothing more. But in 1964, something really rare happened at the Denver Mint. It seems like a small mistake, but it's a big deal for coin collectors. Some 1964 pennies were stamped with a D mint mark. That's Denver, folks, except those pennies never got properly struck. These pennies had some weird little imperfections, making them a one-of-a-kind find. And let's face it, people love the oddballs, right? That mistake. It made these pennies super valuable. So, how do you know if your 1964 penny is one of those million-dollar contenders? Well, here's the kicker, you've got to check that mint mark. The D on the bottom right side of the penny is crucial. But it's not just about the mint mark, it's about the condition too. If your 1964 D penny is in pristine condition, it could easily fetch you a couple of grand. But if you've got a rare one with all the right flaws, you could be looking at an auction price of $2.80 million, but hold on. Don't go rushing to your piggy bank just yet. While most 1964 D pennies are still worth around $1 or $2, the rare ones are so valuable because they don't pop up every day. They were made in such small quantities, and the flaw was so subtle, that only a few collectors even realized its worth. It wasn't until the last few decades that the market really started noticing this penny's true value. Now, let me tell you a little story. A couple of years ago, I was at a yard sale, just looking through some random boxes of coins. I didn't find anything particularly special, but I did grab a handful of old pennies. Of course, I thought they were all junk, just those old coppers nobody wanted. Fast forward a few weeks, I did a deep dive into the world of rare coins, as you do when you've got a passion for numismatics, and I came across this 1964 D penny. My heart dropped because, guess what? I had a mint condition one sitting in my collection the whole time. It was a great reminder to always check your pennies, no matter how ordinary they seem at first glance. Now, let's talk about how you can cash in on your find, if you're lucky enough to have one. First, make sure your coin is authenticated. You can't just slap a price tag on it and hope for the best. Getting it graded by a professional is step number one. And trust me, the higher the grade, the higher the value. You want a shiny, flawless penny if you're going for that sweet $2.8 million price tag, but even if you're not sitting on a goldmine, don't lose hope. The coin market has plenty of rare pennies, quarters, and dimes waiting to be found. And the best part? You don't need a time machine to start collecting coins that are worth money today. So, before you toss that jar of pennies into the donation bin, remember to take a second look. You could have something extraordinary just waiting to be discovered. I mean, who doesn't want to find a coin that's worth millions? That could be you. If you've learned something today and you're ready to start checking your own coins for hidden treasures, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. I'll keep sharing tips, tricks, and strategies to help you find coins that could make you some serious cash. Plus, I'll throw in some insider knowledge on where to sell your rare coins for top dollar. So don't miss out on the next episode. Subscribe, stay informed, and who knows? Maybe your next find will be worth more than a small fortune. Alright, that's it for today. Keep checking your change, stay lucky, and remember, those pennies add up. Catch you in the next video. Alright, you're going to want to hear this because I'm about to drop some serious coin knowledge that could literally change your life. Imagine finding a coin in your pocket, maybe tucked in between the couch cushions, and, bam, you realize it's worth millions. Yep, you heard me right, millions. If you've got a 1969 D Abraham Lincoln penny with the right conditions, you could be holding a ticket to a small fortune. You might be thinking, wait, what? A penny? And I get it, because when I first heard about it, I thought it was a joke too. But trust me, it's real, and it's worth millions. So grab your magnifying glass, or your reading glasses if you're like me, because we're diving deep into how this little penny can make you rich. Alright, let's break this down. The 1969 D Abraham Lincoln penny, yep, from 1969, the year we landed on the moon, and probably one of the coolest decades in history, is a coin you definitely want to keep your eye on. But don't get too excited just yet. It's not just any 1969 D penny. No, no, no. It's gotta have that one little error that sets it apart from every other penny floating around out there. So, here's the deal, the 1969 D penny is worth a small fortune, up to $2.6 million. And no, that's not a typo. This penny isn't worth a couple of bucks. We're talking millions if you have one with a certain minting error, specifically a double die obverse. Sounds fancy, right? Basically, the penny was struck twice by the die at the mint, which caused Lincoln's face to be doubled up. So, if you look really closely, you can see his face looking, well, let's just say he's extra this time around. It's a cool quirk, and it's super rare. Now, I know what you're thinking. This sounds like one of those stories you hear at family reunions. I've got a coin worth $10,000, sure, Uncle Bob, but seriously, this one's not a joke. These pennies have sold for up to $2.6 million at auctions. That's right, some lucky person out there was sitting on a coin worth more than most people's homes. Imagine that. You find a penny, and boom, you're living your dream life. Here's how you can spot one of these pennies. First, you're going to want to look for that double die error. Hold the coin up to a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe. I like to use a fancy term to sound smart, but really, any magnifier will do. Check for that extra doubling in Lincoln's hair, eyebrows, and his nose. It's subtle but noticeable when you know what you're looking for. A normal 1969 penny is just, well, regular. The double die error will make Lincoln look like he had a little too much coffee that morning. Now, I know what you might be thinking, but I don't have one of those pennies. I checked my jar of coins, and all I have are 2005 pennies and some crumpled ones from last year. Look, I've been there. I've looked through my own coin collection, hoping for something rare, only to find, nada. I once spent hours looking through a pile of coins thinking I had a rare one. Turns out, I just found a few 1980s pennies that were literally worth 1 cent classic. But trust me, you want to keep checking, because sometimes, these coins slip through the cracks, and you just might have one sitting in your drawer right now. So, what can you do with your 1969 D penny if you find one? First off, get it authenticated. I'm serious. Don't just throw it in a jar and hope for the best. You want to make sure it's the real deal, and that means having an expert take a look at it. It's worth paying for an appraisal. Once you've got it verified, you can either sell it to a collector or auction it off. Just imagine the possibilities: buying a house, paying off debt, or even going on that vacation you've been dreaming of. And who knows, maybe you'll spend some of that money on some more rare coins. The possibilities are endless. Now, I'm not saying you're going to find a $2.6 million penny lying around your house, but hey, it could happen. You can't win if you don't play, right? So get out there, start searching through those old coins, and who knows, you might just discover a little treasure hiding in plain sight. And remember, even if it's not $1 million penny, there are plenty of rare coins out there that could still be worth a pretty penny, pun totally intended. So, there you have it. The 1969 D. Abraham Lincoln penny. It could be the key to unlocking your financial future, if you've got the right one. Now, don't go running off to check every penny you own just yet, but if you've got that lucky one, well, it could change your life forever. And hey, if you want more tips on rare coins and strategies for spotting the ones that are actually worth something, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I've got plenty more stories and insider tips to share with you. You never know, the next video might just have the next $1 million coin. Who's to say you won't be the next lucky person? Imagine this: you're rummaging through a jar of old pennies, just thinking you'll toss them into your piggy bank, when bam, you find a 1973 D Lincoln penny that could be worth over $2.3 million. Crazy, right? But here's the kicker: this isn't some pipe dream. It's happening right now. So if you've got a 1973 D Lincoln penny lying around, keep watching. You might just be holding a literal goldmine. Stick around, We're diving deep into what makes this penny so valuable and how you can cash in on it. Let's get into it. Alright, let's talk about this 1973 Lincoln penny. Now, at first glance, you might think, it's just another penny, right? I get it. I've been there too. I once found a rare penny in my couch cushions and got excited, only to realize it was from 2009, worth, like, a whole penny. But this is something different. We're talking about the 1973 Lincoln penny. This is one of those coins that, if you find the right one, could totally change your life. So why is this penny so valuable? Well, it's all about rarity and a little bit of mystery. You see, most of the 1973 pennies that were minted in Denver, those D mint marks, were produced in massive quantities. We're talking about billions of pennies. So you'd think it'd be like looking for a needle in a haystack to find one that's worth millions, right? But here's the deal, some of these 1973 D pennies have errors that make them incredibly rare. The most common one involves something called a double die, which means the coin was stamped twice, giving it a cool, double-struck look. And that error, my friends, could send the value of that penny soaring into the millions. Now, you might be wondering, how do I know if I've got one of these rare error pennies? Well, it's not always easy to spot, but here's a quick tip: look at the lettering on the coin, especially around Liberty and In God We Trust. If the text looks a little doubled or blurry, you might have one of these rare beauties on your hands. And that's when you call in the big guns, an expert. Don't go trying to sell it on eBay just yet. I had a friend, Joe, who thought he found a rare penny once. He was convinced it was the next big thing. Turns out it was just a 1970s penny with some wear and tear. But hey, good on Joe for trying, right? Moral of the story: always do your homework before you get too excited. Some pennies are rare, and some are, well, just pennies. So, how do you actually go about selling a penny like this? Well, once you've confirmed it's a legit error coin, you'll want to get it graded by a professional. The higher the grade, the more money it's going to fetch. And trust me, you want a pro to handle this, because these coins can be worth a lot, like, more than most of our houses. We're talking potential sales in the millions here. It's like winning the lottery, but with history. If you do decide to sell, there are auction houses that specialize in rare coins, or you can work with dealers who focus on high-value collectibles. Just make sure you're working with someone trustworthy. You don't want to end up like Joe, stuck with a coin that's not worth nearly as much as you think. So, what did we learn today? If you've got a 1973 Lincoln penny, you might just have a treasure worth millions, if it's got the right error. But don't go getting too excited just yet. Make sure you inspect it carefully, get it graded, and work with the pros to sell it for top dollar. And listen, I don't know about you, but I'm all in for turning spare change into something big. If you want more tips like this on rare coins, how to spot hidden treasures, and strategies for making serious money from your collection, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't want to miss out. And hey, drop a comment below if you found any crazy coins. Let's chat. If you're like me, you've probably looked through your change jar and thought, wow, what if there's a treasure hidden in here? Well, what if I told you that one penny, just a single penny, could make you a millionaire? Yep, you heard me right. We're talking about the 1987 D. Abraham Lincoln penny, and it's worth a jaw-dropping $2.1 million. Stick around to find out how to spot this rare gem, and maybe, just maybe, you'll be the next lucky coin millionaire. But before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our money-making coin tips. Trust me, you don't want to be the one kicking yourself for not subscribing earlier when your coins hit the jackpot. Alright, let's break this down. The 1987 D. Lincoln penny, yeah, it doesn't exactly sound like a coin you'd expect to make you rich, right? I mean, come on, who even remembers the 1987 penny? It seems like just yesterday I was finding them in my pocket change, and throwing them in the junk jar, because who needs pennies, right? Well, turns out, I've been throwing away potential gold mines. Let me explain. The 1987 D penny was minted in Denver, hence the D mint mark. Normally, these pennies are worth, what, 1 cent? Maybe a little more if they're in perfect condition. But what makes this one so special? It all comes down to a minting error that happened in 1987. A lot of these pennies were struck with a double die, meaning the die used to strike the design on the penny was misaligned, creating a doubled image, especially noticeable on Abraham Lincoln's face and the lettering around the rim. Now, this is where the magic happens. Most of these coins went into circulation, unnoticed. But a few of them were lucky enough to escape the eagle eyes of the public and are now worth $2.1 million. Yes, you heard me right, $2.1 million. You might be thinking, how can I find this treasure in my own change jar? Well, let me tell you, it's not as easy as just picking up any old 1987 D penny. These rare ones are in near perfect condition. We're talking mint state condition. If your penny looks like it's been through a battle in a pocket full of lint and gum wrappers, don't worry, it's still a penny. But if it looks like it came straight from the mint, you could be holding on to something potentially worth millions. Okay, real talk, before you get too excited, let me share a funny story with you. I remember when I first heard about coins worth millions, I thought, yeah, right. That's just clickbait. But then, I found a coin in my collection, a 1943 copper penny. And guess what? It was worth a lot more than the nickel I thought it was. I sold it for a decent sum, and I was hooked. But let's just say, the 1987 D penny, that one has me dreaming of a beach house. So yeah, I get the excitement. The idea that something as small as a penny could be worth millions is enough to make anyone start digging through their couch cushions. Now, let's talk about how you can spot these coins. Look for that double die error. The key areas to check are the date and the word liberty on the front, as well as the "In God We Trust" lettering. If the image is doubled even slightly, you might have a winner on your hands. But here's the trick, you need a high-quality coin for it to fetch the big bucks. If it's worn down or scratched, don't expect a six-figure payday. So what do you do if you think you found one of these pennies? First, take a deep breath. Don't rush out and sell it on eBay for $50, trust me, that's happened. You want to get it professionally graded to see if it's truly mint state and free of imperfections. Grading is where the real value is locked in. And hey, if you don't want to send it off to be graded, you can always check with a trusted coin dealer who specializes in rare finds. They know what to look for and might even buy it from you at a fair price. Alright, coin lovers, you've got the lowdown on the 1987 D Lincoln penny worth $2.1 million, and hopefully, now you'll never look at your pennies the same way again. If you find one of these rare coins, you could be holding on to a small fortune. So, what are you waiting for? Get digging in those change jars, and remember, coins aren't just for making change, they can change your life. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more tips, tricks, and coin strategies. I've got a ton of other gems to share with you, so don't miss out on the next one. Who knows? Your next coin could be worth more than you ever imagined. Have you ever looked at a penny and thought, it's just a penny, nothing special? Well, what if I told you that one single penny could be worth a mind-blowing $2 million? Yep, you heard that right. I'm talking about the 1988 Abraham Lincoln penny with NO mint mark. Sounds wild, right? But trust me, this coin is a game changer, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why it's worth its weight in gold, literally. So, let's dive right into it. You probably know that pennies are, well, pennies, nothing to write home about, right? But hold up. Not all pennies are created equal. Some have secrets that could turn your spare change jar into a mini fortune. And the 1988 penny is one of them. Now, I know what you're thinking, wait, a 1988 penny? That's not exactly ancient, is it? Nope, it's not like we're talking about some coin that's been buried under the ground for centuries. But here's the kicker, it's got a little quirk that makes it incredibly rare. The 1988 penny without a mint mark is what we call a proof error. In simple terms, it's a coin that slipped through the cracks during production and somehow ended up with no mint mark when it should have had one. That you might be wondering, what's so special about a mint mark? Well, in case you didn't know, mint marks are tiny little letters on coins that tell you where they were made. Most coins have one, but in this case, the absence of the mint mark on the 1988 penny is a rare, unintentional flaw, and people pay big money for that kind of stuff. A coin like this, one that was never meant to exist the way it does, has collectors and investors lining up to get their hands on it. And if you happen to have one of these rare pennies lying around, it could be worth up to $2 million. Yep, that's right. No typo there. $2 million. Now that's some serious change. That I'm gonna be honest with you, I used to think the most exciting thing I'd find in my pocket was a stray gum wrapper or maybe a forgotten Starbucks gift card. But a couple of years ago, I found a 1988 penny in a box of old coins that belonged to my great-aunt. She had a whole collection of pennies, and honestly, I didn't think twice about them, until I did a little digging. Turns out, I had a 1988 penny without a mint mark in my hands. I didn't realize its value at first, but after doing some research and getting it authenticated, I found out it could be worth a small fortune. Sadly, I didn't get $2 million for mine, because I wasn't lucky enough to find one in perfect condition, but I did walk away with a nice chunk of change, and a lesson about the importance of checking your change. If you have any pennies from 1988, check them carefully for that mint mark. But don't get too discouraged if it's not there. The condition of the coin plays a huge role in its value too. Even if yours doesn't hit $2 million, it could still be worth way more than a regular penny. So, to wrap it up, next time you're rifling through your spare change or digging through an old coin jar, remember that pennies are not always as boring as they seem. One little mistake during production can make a coin worth millions. And you know what they say, one person's mistake is another person's jackpot. So get out there, start looking, and who knows? Maybe you'll find the next rare 1988 penny. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss out on more tips and tricks about coins that could make you a millionaire. I've got plenty more to share with you on how to spot coins that are worth more than you might think. What if I told you that a penny, yes, just a regular penny you might have lying around, could be worth $1 million? Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, it's not. I'm talking about the 2004 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, and it could just change your life, or at least give your coin jar a serious upgrade. Stick around, I'm about to blow your mind with some coin secrets that could put you on the map. Alright, so let's get into it. In 2004, the US Mint made a big mistake, or depending on how you look at it, a huge opportunity for some lucky coin collectors. You see, when they struck these Abraham Lincoln pennies, most of them had a mint mark, like the little D for Denver or S for San Francisco. But there was a small batch of pennies that got struck without a mint mark. No D, no S, nothing. Just the plain OL penny, as if it came from the coin fairy herself. Now, you might be thinking, what's the big deal about a penny with no mint mark? Well, my friend, that little oversight made these coins highly sought after. In fact, the 2004 no mint mark Lincoln penny has become a rare collector's item worth up to $1 million in some cases. And trust me, this isn't some made-up myth like that time I heard a guy got $1 million from a magic bean, but seriously, it's not just about any old 2004 penny. It's about this particular, rare error coin. The value comes from its rarity. The mint didn't mean to release these blank-marked pennies, and once collectors caught wind of it, well, you can guess what happened next. These pennies, in mint condition, can fetch anywhere from hundreds of dollars to over $1 million. Now, I know what you're thinking, okay, but how do I know if I have one of these? Good question. Let's break it down. First off, if you're going through your penny jar and you don't see any mint marks, don't throw them out just yet. You'll want to check the year, it's gotta be 2004. Then, take a magnifying glass and look closely at the spot where the mint mark should be. If it's smooth, with no marks, you might have the jackpot. Ah, look at that. This one? Nope, just a regular OL penny. But you get the idea. Keep your eyes peeled for that little detail. It's like finding a needle in a haystack, but hey, when it comes to coins, you might just get lucky. Okay, so let me tell you a little personal story here. A few years ago, I was at a garage sale, you know, the kind where people are just unloading old stuff for pennies on the dollar. Literally. Anyway, there was this jar of mixed coins, and one caught my eye. It was a 2004 penny with no mint mark. I almost brushed it off as a mistake or an average penny, but something told me to do a little more digging. Well, long story short, after a bit of research, I found out it was worth way more than what I paid for the entire jar. That moment, I felt like I was in a movie. One of those, oh my gosh, I just found gold kind of moments. So, trust me, it can happen to you too. So, to recap, if you're lucky enough to find a 2004 penny with no mint mark, don't just throw it in a jar. Get it checked out by a professional and see if it could be worth thousands or even millions. And remember, you're not just finding coins, you're potentially finding some serious cash. If you're into finding valuable coins, hit that subscribe button. I've got tons more tips and stories about rare coins that could change your life. Trust me, you don't want to miss out. And hey, if you find that $1 million penny, I'll be waiting for my thank you note, maybe a nice dinner. Until next time, keep checking your change and keep making those coin discoveries. You never know when the next one will be worth more than you ever imagined. What if I told you that this tiny coin in your pocket could be worth millions of dollars? That's right. Millions. And no, this isn't some fantasy, it's the reality of the rare 1969 D.D. mint mark Lincoln penny. Stick around, because in just a few minutes, you might find out how you could be holding a small fortune. Imagine it, what would you do with an extra $3 million in your bank account? Now, before you say, that's impossible, let's dive in. This is the truth you need to know if you're serious about selling rare coins and living a lifestyle most only dream of. The year is 1969, and the US Mint releases what appears to be a typical Lincoln penny. But what if I told you that this seemingly ordinary coin holds one of the most mysterious errors in US coin history? There was a double mint mark. The D mint mark was struck twice on the same coin. But why does that matter? Well, this mistake creates a valuable anomaly that's rare, highly sought after, and worth a fortune to collectors. Now, here's where things get interesting. At first glance, you might think it's just a tiny imperfection. But if you know what to look for, you'll see it. The D mint mark is doubled, a mistake that only a handful of these pennies share. Let's talk numbers. As of today, the value of a 1969 D.D. Lincoln penny with this error can soar up to an astonishing $3 million on the right market. Yes, you heard me correctly, $3 million. Now, don't get too comfortable just yet. If you think that these coins are just sitting around waiting for you to find them, think again. The competition is fierce. Why? Because these coins are extremely rare. Less than 10 are known to exist in perfect condition, and that's what makes them so valuable. But how do you know if you found one? That's the question. In the next section, we're going to look at the signs that could lead you to this life-changing discovery. Now, hold on. Before you rush to your coin collection and start searching frantically for this penny, let's slow down. Because here's the twist, most of you probably have a fake. Yes, the internet is flooded with people trying to sell rare pennies, but most of them aren't even worth the paper they're printed on. So how do you know the real deal from the fakes? Stay tuned. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty. How can you tell if your 1969 D.D. Lincoln penny is the real deal? Here's what you need to check. First, look at the mint mark. It's critical that you spot the double D clearly. The first D should be noticeably larger than the second D. If both DS look the same size, it's likely a fake. Remember, precision matters here. Next, check the overall condition. These coins in top-grade condition are the ones that are worth big money. The better the quality, the higher the value. So, if yours has been sitting in a dusty jar for years, it might not be worth millions, but it could still be worth a lot. Now, let's talk about grading, and no, I'm not talking about a school report card. Coins are graded based on their condition, and understanding this is vital when selling. The higher the grade, the more cash you can make. So, how do you get your coin graded? Don't worry, I've got you covered in just a second. Before you start jumping on eBay or running to the nearest coin dealer, there's one more thing you need to know. I'm talking about how to sell your rare penny for the most money possible. Trust me, if you don't know the right way to market it, you could leave money on the table. So, make sure you stick around until the end. So, what's the next step? If you found a 1969 D Lincoln penny, or any other rare coin, the next step is simple: get it graded by a trusted coin grading service. Once it's graded, you can start selling to the right buyers who are willing to pay top dollar for a coin like yours. But here's the truth: this isn't just about finding a rare coin. It's about taking action. The difference between you and someone who'll just let that valuable coin sit in a drawer for years. You'll take the necessary steps to turn that coin into the life-changing money you deserve. So, if you want to sell your rare pennies and start living that dream lifestyle, don't waste any more time. Get serious about your coins. Take that first step today. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe for more tips on how to turn your rare coins into serious cash. Like this video if you found it helpful, and drop a comment below if you think you've got one of these rare pennies. I'll see you in the next video, where we'll dive into even more valuable coins that could change your life. Have you ever stumbled upon a coin that could change your life? What if I told you that a single penny, worth less than $1, could fetch you over $2.8 million? Sounds unbelievable, right? But trust me, it's real, and it could be in your pocket right now. Stick around because in the next few minutes, we're going to dive deep into one of the rarest and most valuable coins in history, the 1972 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. The journey to uncover its worth might surprise you, and by the end, you'll know exactly how to spot this rare treasure. Let's start with the basics. The 1972 Lincoln penny, on its surface, it seems like any other coin from the 1970s. It has Abraham Lincoln on one side and the iconic Lincoln Memorial on the other. But here's the kicker: the 1972 penny is notorious for its mysterious missing mint mark. Every penny produced in the US since 1909 has either had a mint mark or a stamp to indicate where it was produced, whether it was from Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. But the 1972 pennies that are truly special have no mint mark at all. Now, this rare error could be worth hundreds, thousands, or, wait for it, millions of dollars. That's right. If you happen to have one of these in your possession, you're sitting on a small fortune. But hold on, there's more. Let's break down why this coin is so rare and valuable, what makes the 1972 no-mint mark penny so valuable. It all boils down to rarity and the history behind this anomaly. You see, most coins have clear mint marks stamped on them. In 1972, the US Mint made an error in some of their production runs, and several pennies were released without the mint mark. This mistake, combined with the fact that only a small number of these coins were made, means that if you have one of these rarities, it's likely worth far more than face value. Now, I know what you're thinking: how do I even know if I have one? Good question. Here's a little secret: the first step in identifying this precious penny is to take a closer look. Get a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe. Check the reverse side of your penny, and see if there's a mint mark below the date. If there's nothing there, well, congratulations, you might have found a goldmine. Before you get too excited, let's take a moment to talk about the real value of these coins. While some 1972 no-mint mark pennies have sold for thousands of dollars at auction, the most incredible sales are mind-blowing. One of these rare pennies was auctioned for nearly $2.8 million. That's not a typo. It sold for almost $3 million bucks. Now, hold up. Are you starting to feel the pressure? The excitement? It's easy to get swept up in the dream of $1 million coin, but you need to know that not all 1972 no-mint mark pennies are created equal. The condition of the coin is crucial. It's what determines how much you can sell it for. Do you think your penny could be worth $1 million, or even close? Well, I've got some secrets coming up that might just blow your mind. But before we get there, let's take a quick detour into the history of these coins, because understanding their background could be the key to unlocking their value. Alright, now that you know what you're looking for, let's talk about how to get top dollar for your 1972 no-mint mark penny. First, the condition is absolutely critical. The more pristine your penny is, the more it will fetch at auction. Coins that are in mint state, meaning they've been preserved in excellent condition, can sell for astronomical prices. If your penny has wear and tear or is slightly damaged, don't panic. Even those can be worth a lot of money, but they won't fetch the same sky-high prices as those in perfect condition. To get the best price, you'll need to have it graded by a professional numismatist. This will determine its exact value. It's essential to have that official seal of approval before you try to sell. Now here's a pro tip: don't just take your coin to any old pawn shop or coin dealer. No. If you really want to make the big bucks, you need to auction it off to the right buyers, specialized dealers, high-end collectors, or even rare coin auction houses. This is where you can get top dollar for your valuable penny. The urgency here is key. If you've got one of these pennies, it's essential to act fast. The market for rare coins is always shifting, and the prices can fluctuate. The longer you wait, the more you risk missing out on the ideal selling window. You don't want to sell when the market is down, or worse, miss out entirely. Before we wrap things up, there's one last secret about the 1972 no-mint mark penny that you absolutely need to know. It's something that could significantly impact its value, and I'll reveal it in just a moment. But I want to make sure you're fully equipped to take action. So, here's the deal: if you think you might have found one of these life-changing pennies, or if you just want to learn more about how to spot rare coins worth millions, don't go anywhere. Make sure you're subscribed and hit the bell so you don't miss out on more valuable tips and insider secrets on rare coins. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next. You could be just one penny away from your financial freedom. Now, go dig through that coin jar, check those old pennies, and remember, one small mistake by the US Mint could lead you to your big break. Don't let the treasure slip away, because it could be closer than you think. Hey there, coin collectors. Are you sitting on a small fortune without even realizing it? What if I told you that a penny from 1977, with no mint mark, could be worth as much as $2.6 million today? Sounds unbelievable, right? But I'm here to tell you, it's absolutely true. Now, hold on. Before you roll your eyes, I need you to stick around until the end of this video. You'll want to hear this entire story. Why? Because you might just have that elusive coin sitting in your drawer, and if you do, your financial future could change in the blink of an eye. But before we dive in, let's talk about what makes this penny so special and why the market is going crazy for it right now. In 1977, something strange happened at the US Mint. A batch of Lincoln pennies was released to circulation, but here's the twist: some of them didn't have the usual mint mark. Now, this might seem like a minor mistake to the untrained eye, but that error, or rather, that absence of a mint mark, makes this coin incredibly rare and highly valuable. The 1977 no mint mark penny is a product of an unusual minting error. Mint marks, as you might know, are used to identify where a coin was made. But in this case, some of the pennies were struck without that essential mark, and it's believed that only a very small number of these coins were ever made. So why does this matter? Well, in the world of numismatics, rarity is key. The rarer the coin, the higher its value. And right now, people are paying staggering amounts to get their hands on one of these pennies. We're talking about up to $2.6 million, depending on the coin's condition. Now, you might be asking, how did we get from a simple penny to a $2.6 million price tag? Great question. Let's break it down. In the world of rare coins, there are a few factors that can drive the price through the roof. First, let's talk about the rarity factor. Only a small percentage of these 1977 pennies are believed to have been produced without a mint mark. These coins are so rare, in fact, that only a handful have ever been spotted in the marketplace. The rarity alone skyrockets their value. Then, there's the condition. Coins in mint condition, that is, coins that look almost brand new, are worth exponentially more than coins that have been circulated. So, if you find a 1977 no mint mark penny in pristine condition, you're sitting on an absolute goldmine. I'm talking about prices that most people can only dream of, but there's more to the story. This penny is a piece of history. The era makes it a collector's dream, and collectors are constantly on the hunt for coins like these. It's not just a coin, it's a treasure, and treasures have a way of appreciating in value over time. Now, I know what you're thinking. A penny that could be worth millions? You've got to be kidding me. But hey, if I told you that you could turn a coin smaller than a piece of candy into a fortune, you'd probably call me crazy too. But it's happening, and the crazy part is that it's happening right now. So, how do you cash in on this opportunity? Well, first things first, if you think you have a 1977 no mint mark penny, don't just throw it in a jar or hide it away somewhere. It could be worth more than you ever imagined. Here's what you need to do: get it appraised. Not all 1977 pennies without a mint mark are worth millions, but if you've got one in top condition, it's time to get it evaluated by a professional. Find a certified coin appraiser who specializes in rare coins. Trust me, it's worth the investment. Condition is everything. Remember, the condition of your coin can make or break its value. If it's been sitting in a drawer for years, take extra care when handling it. Don't damage it. A single scratch could knock hundreds of thousands of dollars off its value. Sell to the right buyer. The market for rare coins is highly specialized. To get the most money, you'll want to sell it to a dealer or collector who understands its true worth. Avoid pawn shops or casual buyers. They'll likely lowball you, and remember, time is of the essence. As more people learn about these rare 1977 no mint mark pennies, the demand is only going to increase. But here's where it gets really interesting: there's a growing trend in the coin world. Some experts believe that the value of these rare pennies could continue to climb as collectors become more desperate to find them. The question is, could this penny actually become worth more than $2.60 million? Stick around, because I'm going to reveal what the future holds for this rare coin market in just a moment, and trust me, you won't want to miss it. Now that you know the value of the 1977 no mint mark Lincoln penny, it's time to take action. Take a look through your coin collection, check your pockets, your drawers, and your old piggy bank. You could be holding the key to a massive fortune. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like and subscribe for more tips on how to find, value, and sell rare coins for millions. Don't wait, your next big payday could be just a coin flip away. Until next time, happy hunting, and remember, fortune favors the prepared. Imagine you're holding a coin, one that could be worth millions. One that could change your life forever. This isn't a fantasy or a game, this is real, and it's happening today. Welcome to the world of rare coins. Coins like the 1978 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Now, you might be thinking, a penny? Worth millions? That's impossible. But trust me, by the end of this video, you'll be second-guessing everything you know about the value of your old pennies. Stay with me, because in the next 10 minutes, you're going to learn exactly how this seemingly ordinary penny could potentially be worth up to $2.3 million. Before we dive into the huge potential of the 1978 no mint mark Lincoln penny, let's talk about how such coins even exist. What makes them so rare? In 1978, the U.S. Mint accidentally released a small number of Lincoln pennies with no mint mark. Normally, every coin produced has a mint mark, an indicator of where it was made. But for some reason, a handful of these pennies left the mint without it. The most important question here is, why does that even matter? Let's talk about rarity for a second. The rarer something is, the more valuable it becomes. In a world filled with billions of coins, finding a 1978 penny with no mint mark is like finding a needle in a haystack. Only a few have survived in decent condition, and that rarity can skyrocket the value of these coins. Now, imagine you're sitting at home, and you find one of these coins hidden in your collection. You might be thinking it's just another penny, but in reality, you're holding something that could change your life forever. But here's where it gets tricky: most people wouldn't even recognize the worth of this coin. And that's where you might be making a huge mistake. Let's talk numbers. The 1978 no mint mark Lincoln penny isn't just any old penny. As rare as it is, the real value comes in its condition. A penny that's well preserved can reach up to $2.3 million. That's right, millions. But what makes this penny so valuable? It's all about the perfect storm of rarity and condition. You need to find one of these coins in excellent shape. Think of it like this: a coin with no mint mark is the golden ticket, but in terrible condition, it won't be worth nearly as much. Now, here's where the urgency kicks in: the market for rare coins is incredibly competitive. People are actively hunting for pennies just like the one you could have sitting right in your drawer. If you're not paying attention, you could miss your chance to sell it at its peak price. Coins like these are snapped up quickly when they come to market. And once they're gone, it could be years before another one turns up in great condition. This is why you need to act fast. If you have a 1978 no mint mark Lincoln penny, you need to know exactly how to get it appraised and, if it's in good shape, how to sell it for top dollar. Waiting too long could cost you big. Now, let me ask you, do you want to hold on to that penny and wonder for the rest of your life what could have been? Or do you want to take action today, learn how to verify its worth, and potentially sell it for millions? The truth is, your life could change overnight with just one discovery. One coin. One decision. In a world full of uncertainty, finding a rare coin that could make you a millionaire is a rare opportunity. It's right in front of you, but only if you recognize its value. But let's be real for a second. Not everyone will get lucky enough to find a 1978 no mint mark Lincoln penny in perfect condition. But here's the thing: there are other rare coins out there, just waiting for the right collector to discover them. So, whether it's a penny or another piece from your collection, there is real potential in the coins you already have. Here's where the real power lies: by educating yourself, you can become a collector and seller of rare coins. Not just pennies, but the whole treasure trove of valuable coins out there that others may overlook. But it doesn't stop here. You have a choice. You can walk away from this video, and it will be just another video in your YouTube feed. Or, you can dive deeper into the world of rare coins, learn more, and start taking action that could change your financial future. So, what will it be? Will you take the next step? If you're serious about finding coins like the 1978 no mint mark Lincoln penny or others that could be worth millions, it's time to start your journey. Before you go, make sure to subscribe to our channel. Don't miss out on more tips and secrets to finding rare coins that could be hiding right in your home. The next big discovery could be yours. But you have to act fast. Don't let opportunity slip through. Are you sitting down? Because the coin sitting in your drawer or your old penny jar might be worth more than your car, or even your house. We're talking about the 1987 no mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin that could change your life forever. Stick around because what you're about to hear will leave you in shock, and possibly send you running to check your pockets. You know, most of us have some old pennies lying around. Some are tucked away in a drawer, some sit in a coin jar, maybe even buried at the bottom of your junk drawer alongside that half-missing deck of cards. But what if I told you one of those pennies could make you a fortune? Now, I'm not talking about any ordinary penny. I'm talking about the 1987 no mint mark Lincoln penny. It's rare. It's valuable. And it could be sitting in your pocket right now. So, what's so special about this penny? Well, it was meant to have a mint mark, the little letter that tells you where the coin was produced. But guess what? This penny was accidentally minted without one. That mistake, that tiny flaw, makes it incredibly valuable. But how valuable exactly? Well, depending on the condition, this coin can be worth anywhere between $50 to $2 million. Yes, you heard that right, $2 million, imagine that. That old penny you thought was just a piece of junk could be worth a small fortune. If you're not excited yet, you need to check your pulse. But don't get too comfortable, because there's more to this story, and more coins out there that could make you a millionaire. Now, I know what you're thinking. Sure, right. And my dog can probably talk too. But stay with me here, this isn't some fairy tale. It's reality. And it could change everything for you. Now that you know there's potentially a treasure in your hands, let's dive into the real story behind these pennies. You're probably asking, how do I even know if I have one? Well, let's break it down. First, take a close look at your 1987 penny. If you see no mint mark, and it's in decent condition, then you might have something extraordinary. But that's not all. The condition of the coin plays a huge role in its value. A penny in near-perfect condition could be worth thousands of dollars. And if it's flawless, like it just came off the minting press, you could be sitting on a small fortune. But wait, there's more. A lot of these pennies didn't get recognized right away. People tossed them in their change jars, used them to pay for a cup of coffee, or just forgot about them entirely. But now, as people start catching on to the value, collectors are paying big money for these rare finds. The demand is growing, and it's not slowing down anytime soon. So, how do you know if your coin is worth thousands or millions? I'm about to reveal what can really boost the value of your 1987 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, but first, let me tell you about how one lucky collector turned a simple coin into a life-changing fortune. Trust me, you're not going to want to miss this. Let me give you a quick preview of what's coming up. Some people are literally walking around with bags of pennies worth millions of dollars. You could be one of them, if you know what to look for. Alright, it's time for the big reveal. What can actually make your 1987 no-mint mark Lincoln penny worth even more? The answer isn't as simple as, just keep it safe. No, the value of your coin is tied to a few important factors. First, you've got to find the right buyer. Not all coin dealers know the true value of these rare pennies. You need to find someone who specializes in rare coins, someone who understands the market and is willing to pay top dollar. Don't just settle for the first offer that comes your way. You're not just dealing with pocket change anymore, you're dealing with something that could change your financial future. Next, consider getting your coin professionally graded. This is a key step in determining its true worth. A coin in mint condition with a high grade can fetch a price that blows your mind. The difference between a $50 penny and a $2 million penny could be as small as a tiny scratch or a fingerprint. Trust me, it's worth getting it looked at by a professional. But here's the kicker, once word gets out about how valuable these coins are, the market will only get more competitive. The longer you wait, the more you risk losing out on the incredible profits you could be making right now. The truth is, the coin market is getting hotter by the day. You don't want to miss your chance. The longer you wait, the more likely someone else is going to come across a coin like yours and sell it first. Timing is everything in this game. So ask yourself, how much is your time worth? Now, you're probably wondering, what's next? Well, let me tell you this, the hunt for rare coins is on, and people are paying big money for items like the 1987 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. But you've got to act fast. Don't wait. Start looking through your change, check your coin jars, and if you find that elusive penny, get it appraised immediately. Before we wrap up, let me ask you one final question. How would your life change if you discovered a coin worth millions? What would you do with that kind of wealth? It's not just about money, it's about freedom. Imagine being able to live the life you've always dreamed of, debt-free, and living the lifestyle you deserve. So go ahead, check your coins. The treasure you've been waiting for might be closer than you think. Don't let this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity slip through your fingers. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins, their value, and how to turn them into real money, make sure to subscribe to this channel, drop a like, and leave a comment letting me know if you've ever found a rare coin. Who knows? You could be the next coin millionaire. Do you have a 2008 penny sitting in your change jar? If so, you might be holding on to a small fortune without even realizing it. What if I told you that this penny, a seemingly insignificant piece of copper, could be worth up to $1 million? Yes, you heard that right. Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, you could be unlocking the potential of a hidden treasure in your pocket. Now, you're probably thinking, a penny? Worth $1 million? That sounds too good to be true. But trust me, it's not a fairy tale. It's a reality that many people are waking up to. In 2008, something rare happened at the US Mint. It was the year when some pennies, just like the one you might have, were struck without a mint mark. Let me explain. Normally, every penny produced in the US has a mint mark, which identifies where it was made. Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. But in 2008, some Lincoln pennies were mistakenly struck without a mint mark at all. And these no mint mark pennies are incredibly rare. So rare, in fact, that some of them are now selling for astronomical prices. Why is this such a big deal? Because out of the billions of pennies made that year, only a small fraction were missing that crucial mint mark. The scarcity of these pennies makes them incredibly valuable to collectors, and that's where the potential for big money comes into play. But hold on a second. Don't get too excited just yet. It's not as simple as just finding a penny and expecting $1 million payday. The value depends on a few key factors, and we're going to dive into exactly what to look for. Before you start rifling through your change jar in a frenzy, let me ask you a question. How often do you just toss pennies in a jar, thinking they're worth less than the effort it takes to even bend over and pick them up? I bet you've done it more than once. But now, you might think twice before letting that throwaway change slip through your fingers. Alright, let's break down what exactly makes these 2008 no mint mark pennies so valuable. It's all about rarity and condition. The fact that they were produced in error means that they're rare, really rare. But not all of them are worth $1 million, and here's why. The condition of the penny is crucial. That a penny that's been sitting in your pocket for years, worn down and scratched, won't fetch a fortune. But if you find one that's in excellent condition, maybe even uncirculated, that's where the magic happens. You see, collectors are willing to pay top dollar for coins in pristine condition, and I'm talking about tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars for a penny in mint condition. The highest recorded sale for a 2008 no mint mark Lincoln penny was over $1 million. Can you imagine that? A single penny turning into a life-changing sum of money. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. The chances of finding one of these $1 million pennies are slim. But what I'm about to tell you next could increase your chances of finding one by 100%. So, what exactly do you need to look for to spot a 2008 no mint mark penny worth serious money? Don't go anywhere, because we're about to break it down in just a second. But first, let me ask you this. Wouldn't you like to know how to spot a rare coin before it slips away? Stick around, because this could change everything. Here's the good news. Spotting a valuable 2008 no mint mark penny isn't as hard as you might think. You don't need to be a coin expert or have access to specialized equipment. It all starts with a simple observation. First, you'll need to check for the absence of the mint mark. A regular 2008 penny, minted in Philadelphia, will have a small P below Abraham Lincoln's shoulder. If your penny lacks this mark, congratulations, you've already taken the first step toward potential wealth. But don't stop there. Next, inspect the penny's condition. Is it shiny and new? Or is it worn down by years of circulation? A penny in uncirculated or near mint condition will fetch the highest value. Use a magnifying glass if you need to get a closer look at any fine details. The clearer the design and the less wear and tear, the higher the coin's value. Lastly, get your penny professionally graded. A professional coin grader can determine the exact quality and authenticity of your penny. If it's graded high enough, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Here's a fun thought to leave you with. How many times have you tossed pennies into your cup holder, thinking, it's just a penny, who cares? Now imagine your future self, shaking your head in regret, as you watch someone else cash in on that very coin. Don't let that happen to you. So, now that you know what to look for, it's time to take action. Go grab your pennies, take a deep breath, and start searching. And if you do happen to find a 2008 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny in great condition, don't wait to act. Get it graded, get it valued, and then make your move. Remember, every coin has a story, and yours might just be worth more than you could ever imagine. Keep searching, keep looking for those hidden treasures, and who knows? Maybe one day, you'll be holding on to a penny worth $1 million. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on more life-changing tips about rare coins. Keep chasing those fortunes, you never know what you might find.